Hey, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you're dialing in from and showing up live with us. My name is Bart, and I'm live here in St. Louis. My good friend and colleague, Rudy Malle, will be joining us shortly. He is in a meeting and just proves once again that it is live. Today is September the 11th, and here in the U.S., 9/11 is a very poignant day, and I would be remiss if I did not mention today and what today means to all of us. And Rudy there in New York, even more so. I was visiting New York not long after 9/11, and it really changed everything. It changed everything about everything for us. For me, and being part of ibüümerang, here's the parallel for me. The After 9/11, we had a sense of unity, a sense of camaraderie, a sense of fellowship that we all were together for one cause. That's what you also have with ibüümerang. You have a true sense of fellowship, a true sense of being part of something greater than yourself. So today we're going to talk a little bit more about ibüümerang and what ibüümerang has to offer. Rudy sent out a post this morning about Uber and Lyft and how they're starting to cut back on their marketing and maybe laying off 300-400 employees. That's what the scuttlebutt is out there. So why would ibüümerang get involved in the rideshare industry if something like this is happening? Well, a couple of reasons. Number one, we have Holton Buggs. Holton Buggs is our CEO, and he doesn't do anything without really vetting it, looking at it, and seeing how it can improve, not only for people in ibüümerang, for people everywhere. And so he bought a rideshare, and we're doing Vibe Ride. And because we do travel, and you have that with your free ibüümerang, you also have access to Vibe Ride. And we're going to do it a little bit different. He is going to roll this out beginning in a couple of states. We think it's going to be Texas and Florida, not 100% certain there. Also have heard that there's 13 other states that are coming on board. And then we'll roll it out across the country and then into an international market, a place like Mexico. So why are we doing this? Because it encapsulates what ibüümerang is all about. It's about creating something that provides not only a cost savings to everyone, but also the freedom and the ease of having all their travel, all their life's activities in one location. You book a trip on ibüümerang on your iGo platform. We know when you're traveling. We know where you're traveling. We know when you land. And when you land, you'll get a text message saying, there's a Vibe Ride waiting for you if you're looking for a ride share. You may have relatives picking you up, but you may need a ride share to get to your hotel, get to your meeting, whatever. And so we're there to provide that for you. And just like the trip you took, it's going to be at a cost savings with you as well. So from an ibüümerang perspective, it really is genius what all he is creating there. Early in the week, we also talked about Boom Mobile, the new cellular service that's rolling out. That'll probably roll out in early 2020. It'd be $49.95 a month, unlimited text, unlimited data, unlimited talk. It's just one more piece of a service. So I've been talking to a number of people all across the country, all across the world about ibüümerang and why ibüümerang. Why is it different? A number of people are saying it can't be real. It can't be real because it's free. Nothing is free. And my response to that is think again. The portal that you have, the portal we give you is free. No fees attached, no membership required. There is no catch. And you're going to see out there all the hotels, all the flights, all the car rentals, everything, just as if you went to another travel portal to book something. But here's what's even more genius about it, what Mr. Buggs has done. Not only will you see all the same things out there, but you will also see the cost savings. It will show you what that same hotel costs on Travelocity, on Hotel.com, on Kayak, on any of those booking platforms. It will show you what that cost savings is. And if for some reason, a very odd reason, but it has happened and it may happen to you, you see something cheaper, there's a little button that you click on and you submit a form, take a picture of that and submit a form and say, hey, here's what I found. And guess what? iboomerang is going to match that price and also give you a 10% reduction, 110% guarantee on that. That doesn't happen anywhere else. That is all part of what he's calling the Prib. And the Prib will become both a noun and a verb, just like Alexa and Siri. You'll talk to the Prib. You'll say, hey, Prib, I want to travel to New York, to San Francisco, to Europe, to down under, wherever you may want to go. And the Prib is going to have it there for you with some options for you to look at. It's going to be that easy. It's going to be that straightforward for you to be able to do something. So how do you get started with iboomerang? Well, there's two ways. Number one, just comment below, and I will send you a free iboomerang. I just received a new allotment of them, and I've got plenty to give out. This is yours for life. You go in, set up your profile, and on your profile, you can add up to 4 more people on your profile. So 5 people get something for free. That's how it works. There's also a business opportunity involved. Rudy, myself, the people you've met here on these episodes, all of us are independent business owners. We are what's called travel savings ambassadors, because that's what our mission is to help you travel and to help you save. And so you too can become a travel savings ambassador. How do you do that? Comment below and say, send me some information. And what I'm going to do is send you an interactive presentation that's going to talk all about what we do, the technology behind it, the vision that Mr. Bugs has, and where we're headed. It's pretty easy to get started. It's $49.95 to go on standby. Just like at the airport, you're on standby. When you're on standby, you get 5 iboomerangs to test the market with, to see how it works. And then after that, you get to decide, do I want to go coach, business, or first class? Same thing when you're picking your seat tickets on the airlines. My suggestion is you start at the business class or first class, and here's the reason. At coach class, which is only $250 to get started at coach class, then at the coach class, you make 50% of the commission that is allotted. At the business and first class, which is $500 and $1,000 respectively, you get 100% of the commission. So let's talk about that. You say, God, Bart, $250, $500, $1,000, I don't have that. Guess what? Yes, you do. If this is important to you, if this is something that you want to have happen in your life, then yes, you do. Because when you get started with this, what we have found and what the research shows is that each family takes a vacation once a year. That's the average, once a year vacation. And our platform is going to save them, on the average, $600 on their vacation. As a travel savings ambassador, if you're at the business and the first class level, you just got paid $300 of that $600 that they have. If you're at the coach class, you got paid $150. And you say, but how much work is involved? Let me ask you a question. How much work is involved in you giving someone an iboomerang? That's all you got to do. They're going to book their own travel. We have a customer excellence department that is going to continually give them some feedback and some information about trips that are coming up. I've been looking to book a trip to New York, and I get emails every day saying, hey, check out this hotel. Here's the latest rate on it. Or are you still looking at New York? We've got some new hotels and new excursions for you to consider. So all of that is built into the artificial intelligence that's behind the scenes curtain, as we like to say, that goes into what we're doing here. So it really is incredibly powerful what we have happening here in the iboomerang world. So you get started with that. You get either 10, 25, or 50 iboomerangs to start with, depending where you get started. Let's say you get started at the coach level, but your goal is to become a first class ambassador. Well, you've got 60 days in which to upgrade to first class after you get started. Do you know of any other business where you say, I just got to get my toes wet and work this thing, and in 60 days, I will be able to go first class? I don't know of anyone that does that. So you look at that and you see, wow, this does have some possibility. And so you start thinking out of the box, and that's where you really start making some inroads and some things start happening for you, is you start thinking out of the box. And when you do that, you realize that what we've put together here, what we have, is something that also resonates with organizations, with associations, with nonprofits, with churches. Can you imagine a church that's an ambassador with ibüümerang, and they give out ibüümerangs to their congregation, and every time anyone in that congregation takes a trip and uses their ibüümerang, that church gets 50% of the savings coming back to them in the format of revenue, or as they like to call it, tithing. Same thing true with associations. There's people that I'm talking with right now who have kids in college. What a better audience to have than a bunch of college kids that can give out ibüümerangs. All right, they give them out spring break, Christmas, whatever. They're traveling, they used it, they book their trips with it, the savings that they have with that, and then that money comes back to them and helps offset their college expenses. It's genius what all you can do with this. So it really is wide open what we have here with ibüümerang. I can't say enough about what's going on. Let's also go back and talk just a moment about the Vibe Ride. On the Vibe Ride, applications will be coming out this fall for people who want to be a driver with Vibe Ride. You don't have to be an ambassador to be a driver. I can provide you with that application. And what I do, whenever someone takes a ride, guess what? I'm going to commission off of that ride. But you as a driver, you may know people that also want to be drivers. So you give them an application and you sign them up. And guess what? You're going to commission off of those rides too, just because you introduce that person to Vibe Ride. Pretty ingenious, pretty clever what we've got going here. It is truly, as my shirt says, just different. Everything about this is just different. You heard Rudy and me talking earlier in the week about vision and about the vision that Mr. Bugs and his team has. And I can honestly tell you folks, I have not ever seen a vision quite like this, except when I did some consultation with Apple back before the internet was invented, and saw the vision that Steve Jobs had, and the way that that vision became a reality, and how he worked it, and how he would say, wait a minute, we need to do this first before we do this and make this happen. That's the same thing that's taking place right here today with ibüümerang. March 9th, Rudy, myself, and 1,000 of our friends, the closest friends, were down in Houston, Texas, for the pre-launch of a company we did not even know the name of. At the time, we were going by Countdown for Freedom. We had no idea the name was going to be ibüümerang. That morning, we show up at the Marriott and we see the ibüümerang branding. We see the apparel. We see all the stuff that's happening. And then we hear the logic and the reason behind ibüümerang. Because as a kid, if you ever had a boomerang, you know when you toss it out, it comes back to you. And that's what we're doing. We're tossing out savings, and those savings are coming back to us in the form of some revenue. So we were down there with 1,000 of our closest friends, and we started to understand and feel the vision that Mr. Bugs had. That was on March the 9th. We did our pre-launch starting on March 11th. And then on August 30th and September 1st, we had our grand opening in Las Vegas. During those 5.5 months of just in pre-launch, ibüümerang went from just being a name to now being in 140 countries, 140,000 customers, $20 million in business, and paid out $12 million in commission. Not only are we the 10th fastest growing company in the world, we're the #1 home-based business. March 11th to August 30th. September 1st to today, 11 days old, we're growing by leaps and bounds. We are live. We are official. It was announced that we're adding that Boom Mobile. We're adding Vibride. Other services are coming on board. That's just the beginning. The best analogy I can give you is think about when Amazon got started and all they did was sell books. That's where we are today with ibüümerang. That's where we are today with ibüümerang and travel. You're already seeing a cellular offering, a rideshare offering. We hear rumors of more things happening. Stay tuned because it's going to continue to happen time after time after time. It's going to be an amazing, amazing ride that we're on. And I can't say enough about the strength and the vision that this company has and where we're headed. It's real easy for you. You've got one of two choices. Either you comment below and say, hey, Bart, I want an ibüümerang. And while supplies last, because there are a limited number, you will get one. Or you can say, hey, Bart, tell me more. Tell me more about how I can get involved, how I can be part of this vision. If you're in the St. Louis marketplace, if you're in the St. Louis area, anywhere in the area tonight at 6:30 at Total Wine and More in Chesterfield, I'm doing an opportunity meeting, and you'll be able to see this interactive presentation. Kelly Deptula is joining me, one of my colleagues, and we're going to be presenting this tonight to an audience. And after we get through, Total Wine is so awesome, they're going to do a wine tasting and give us some information about the wines they've chosen. You must be 21 or older to attend this special meeting, but for anyone for ibüümerang, if you're interested, need to be 18 years or older to become an ambassador, and you think to yourself, well, who at 18 wants to be an ambassador and do this? We have a colleague and a friend in Atlanta who is 19 years old. She's already reached one of the highest leadership statuses in the company, a 7-figure earner. Just amazing what she's doing. I have a friend that's 21 years old over in London. He's up in the higher ranks as well. And then our good friend here, Rudy. Rudy's a millennial himself. This is something that I would highly encourage millennials to look for. Again, it's been a live presentation. If Rudy comes out of his meeting anytime soon, we may jump back on, but I want to leave with you today to really consider at least being a customer with ibüümerang. You can thank me later, but more importantly, consider the opportunities that we have as a travel savings ambassador. This is Bart. I'm signing off for today, and I will see you with Rudy tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have an amazing day. And again, 9/11. Let's never forget what today means. And I ask you to do one last thing. When you see a stranger today, smile. Give them the gift of a smile, because that's a gift that's going to last forever. I'll see you tomorrow.